Manchester United are looking at Barcelona centre mid Marc Casado. More links linking us to the player. Reports coming out that Neves' terms are agreed, but I would take that with a pinch of salt. I'm not familiar on the source, but there is talk of terms being agreed. Updates on Joao Gomes, Manchester United considering the player who could be available in January. And looks like Manchester United are sort of opening talks and conversations around these three midfield names and another name as well, the secret midfielder. We're going to talk about the latest on the likes of Elliot Anderson and Man United's plan for Baleba in the summer. It looks like we want to sign a midfielder. It looks like it's more likely going to be a short-term deal. Let's talk about all the latest Manchester United midfield news and more. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news, transfer news, update, roundup show, where I'm going to round up all the latest Manchester United news into a 10-minute video for you guys. If you do enjoy today's video, please do go ahead and hit that like button. You're welcome to subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. So, let's start by talking about Marc Casado. Now, if we're talking about this guy a year ago, we're talking about this guy as, wow, a great talent. I think the way he started under Hansi Flick was incredible. He looked really bright last season, but he's just not been that great lately. I do think he's a good player. He's not going to cost a lot of money. Barcelona wants to move him on. I do think Casado is a good player that has a very high IQ, is very technically gifted. I think he's got a very high ceiling. And he is a number 6. He's a Barcelona Academy product. He's a number 6. My only worry is how physically small he is. It's more maybe, could he do it in the Premier League? Could he do it with the physicality of the Premier League? I think as a technical player, I think as a player with potential, Casado is good. I think what he showed in those first few months under Flick was good. But he's not been great at Barcelona lately. And there is concerns of how would he do in the Premier League. But let's talk about Casado, and do let me know your thoughts down below. But he was really impressive in want to go there. Man United and Wolves are also tracking the midfielder. It's been said out of Atleti, Man United and Wolves, Casado would pick Man United. He doesn't want to go to a rival. He's not going to go to a team that's probably going to go down and be playing in the Championship. Let's be real. So it puts Manchester United there as the team that Casado would pick. Now, it'll be interesting to see if we actually do move for Casado, because the links are very, we'll say, surface level. I think it's more that we are discussing Marc Casado. Obviously, we've been linked to him by IndyCar as well. We've been linked to him by a few Spanish sources, but we haven't had like a Chris Wheeler or a Samuel Lucas or a Jamie Jackson or any of the British sources get on it, let alone a Romano or an Ornstein. So for me, I think, we'll have to wait and see how this develops. I will say he's captained Barcelona at youth level, and he was one of the highest rated. So it's not going to be easy for him. Continuing on, there's now reports coming out that Ruben Neves has agreed personal terms to join Manchester United. Now, I've said no idea about the source because I don't think the source is probably any good, but we have to see. Manchester United have reached an agreement on personal terms with Ruben Neves on a 3-year contract. He's given the green light and is keen on returning to Europe. There's now talk underway to agree a fee between the clubs. We know that he's out of contract in the summer. We know that Al Hilal would be open to selling him for 50 to 20 million in January. And we know that he wants a Premier League return. And Man United will be top of his list for a Premier League return. Man United or Real Madrid. Ruben Neves is a target for Man United, who would cost around 20 million, and funds are available for his move or another wishlist signing to become visible. We have the money for Ruben Neves if you want him. He wants to move. I don't think he's agreed personal terms, because I think if he'd agreed personal terms, we would have had an update from Romano or Whitwell or Ornstein by now. But I think we're considering Neves. I think there's talks. I think we might panic deadline day and get Neves in and wait the whole of January, then panic and go, okay, we'll bring Neves in. Neves will want the move. The money is available. It's up to United if they want Neves. I think for 15, 20 million, it's a good deal. The problem is that Neves, he's not really got the legs. He's just an intelligent player on the ball, I think we need someone with the legs that could cover for Casemiro in case Casemiro got injured. And I think a guy plays best next to Casemiro, Maina plays best next to Casemiro. I think Neves would play best next to Casemiro if we're looking at maybe the drawbacks, but I think he's such an intelligent player, such a good player. I still think he's at a really high level despite being Al Hilal. We saw him in the Club World Cup. We've seen him for Portugal. I think he is a top level player. I think United's question will be, is he what they necessarily need? But I think it's better than nothing. I mean, I'd be all over Ruben Neves, even if he's not, out and out exactly what we need. I think he's a good player, and I think for that opportunity, 15, 20 million is I would consider it. Here is the next player that Man United are looking at. Man United are ready to challenge Napoli, Atletico Madrid for Wolves midfielder Joao Gomes as they prepare for life without Casemiro. Napoli have broadly agreed terms with the Brazilian, but no fee agreement has been reached with Wolves yet. I think as Casemiro cover, Joao Gomes is a really good option. He's not maybe as much of an out-and-out six as Casemiro, but he's got the defensive capabilities and reading of the game and intelligence that Casemiro has defensively off the ball, with a bit more legs than Casemiro to cover that role well. I think Elliot Anderson is the dream, or Baleba is the dream name, but I think realistically, United need 3 midfielders. Let's say we sign Anderson and Wharton, and then we've got 40 million left for that third midfielder, then you want that to be Joao Gomes. And if he's available for 35 million in January, and Atletico Madrid are looking at it, Napoli are looking at it, that's something that we've got to consider. And I think that's one to watch, as United have been looking at him. Even Sean Connolly said that Joao Gomes ranks among the Premier League's top midfield enforcers, and then the officials had admired him a long time, viewing Gomez as a player who ticks boxes. His reduced transfer fee and age being 24, would suggest a shrewd bit of business. And I agree. He's a player that's going to be available this window, that's going to be not too expensive, that's Prem proven, that's not too old, that can cover Casemiro. It's something to explore. I think if we were going to go for Joao Gomes, though, I feel like we would have gone for him already. I feel like we'd known that we have an opportunity to sign him for a while and we've done nothing. Or maybe we're waiting for Carrick to get in the door and see what Carrick thinks, but who knows? Sean Connolly also did say that Wilcox is a big admirer of Elliot Anderson, with source citing that both his talent and age is a key criteria for the Ineos hierarchy, and European participation will play a key role in Anderson's decision this summer. I think our only chances of getting Elliot Anderson is if we get Champions League football, which is why it's even more important to bring in a midfielder right now to improve our chances of getting Premier League football, which improve our chances of getting Anderson, and also improve our chances of getting Bruno. I think if we don't get Champions League football, Bruno will leave. I think we can convince Bruno to stay another season if we do get Champions League football. Continue on into the final story. Baleba's age and profile tick all the boxes for Vival, Barada and Wilcox. Similar to Anderson, many European suitors are interested in acquiring his services, with a rate of defensive mastery viewed as unique and far beyond his years. Yes, his performances have slumped since the Reds have come knocking. So what Sean Connolly was saying when asked about Baleba is, yes, he has not been as good lately since United came knocking in the summer, but his attributes that he showed last season and the attributes he has and the strengths he has as a player is things that Man United have looked at and gone, we really like that. I know he's dropped off this season, but the skill set he has is amazing for his age and beyond his years, and his skill set could be very beneficial in the future. I think Anderson is my number one target just because how much Baleba's fallen off this season, but watching Baleba at AFCON, I was like, that skill set hasn't gone. It's still there. It can still be unlocked. And I think Baleba has a higher ceiling than Anderson. If Baleba can be the Baleba of last season, I think Anderson has been better. So I'd love Baleba, but I think with Baleba we've got to be really careful not to overpay. I'm happy to overpay if it means getting him now, but in the summer when there's more options, we've got to be careful not to overpay, because I think Brighton is starting to become more open to moving him on. I mean, guys, let me know what you do down below in midfield. There's reports and rumours that the secret midfielder is Sakaria or Højbjerg, is what a lot of people are saying as well. But I think United are looking at a midfield option to come in short term and 2 big midfielders in the summer. I want your guys' thoughts down below. I like Joao Gomes. I like Neves. I'm open to Casado. I don't think any of those names are perfect, but I think it could really help us. I'm skeptical about some of them. But yeah, I think, look, in an ideal world, if Man United want to go out and push for Baleba and try and get Baleba in January, and Baleba wants to force a move, that would be great. If we want to try and get Elliot Anderson, that would be great. I don't think our chances of doing that are high unless we had 100 million ready to spend. And I think we've got about 65, 70 million max to spend. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.